for next week, I'm going to go ahead and get started, and if people pop on, again, I'm recording this. I don't think anyone else has jumped on, so just kind of side chat me or unmute if you're not okay with me recording this and sending it to the rest of the class. So basically, we got wind yesterday. IReady Diagnostics start on Monday. So yesterday, we heard from another grade level that they were doing it kind of small group. And then it ended up going into the conversation that the kids would be live while doing the diagnostic. So it sounds a lot more complicated than what it is. So basically today I think I scheduled it for like 11:20. Let me get my 4-year-old out of here. I'm sorry. Playroom. Go. Yes, playroom. So basically at 11:20 on our Google Classroom, there will be a schedule posted that you can actually sign up for a time for your child to take the diagnostic. There's a 2-hour window, and I'm not going to lie, the last diagnostic sometimes does take a while. So I would plan, because I know a lot of us are still working and a lot of us are still kind of in and out. I would plan for the full 2 hours. It doesn't always take that long, but just in case. There are morning and afternoon times. So I tried to kind of make that a little more convenient, just in case you can't do one or the other. And it will be all week. So basically how it's going to work is you're going to sign up on the Google Doc, and that'll be in our classroom, and I'll also email it just in case. Sorry, this is fun. The 4-year-old is just today. So I'll email it and I'll send it on the classroom. I have to turn it into admin by Friday. So the sooner you sign up, the more you're going to help me. And everyone has to sign up. So on your designated day, you'll log your student into Google Classroom. You'll do attendance, and then you'll jump right on IReady. The diagnostic will already be there for you set up. The only difference is they have to be on Google Meets while they're taking the diagnostic. So I'll send directions for that. It's nothing fancy, and literally you'll have them just post it up on the computer, and they won't be able to see like this screen. They'll be on their IReady screen. I'll be on there, and it'll look like I'm not, because my mic and my camera will be off, but basically it's a way to ensure that the student is doing the diagnostic and mom and dad aren't, to be very honest. This goes for next year. So I'm trying to explain this the right way. So basically, however they score this year is where they will start next year in diagnostics. So say you were helping them and they score really high. When they're doing it independently next year in school, it's really going to make it hard for them. And then they also test next year at the beginning of the year, and their score may go down. So we don't want that. We want it to be as accurate as possible. So they're asking for parents not to help at all as far as like questions. So please don't give them the answer. They're allowed to use scratch paper if they want to, things like that. But if they ask you like, what is this answer? The best thing to do, and I'll be on there, is to prompt them to try their best. You have to have your mic and your camera on for the Google Meet while they're doing IReady, just so we can make sure that they're not getting assistance. I'm trying to think. They're encouraging to still like have a quiet environment, which again is why I'll have my mic off, because it's really loud here, but I'll be able to hear them. So if they're like, Miss Acevedo, it's not working, I'll be able to hear them as well. And again, I would plan for the 2 hours just in case, especially because it's the end of the year diagnostic. It does tend to take a little longer. And then that day, so say you signed up for Monday for IReady testing, they do not have to do any of the Google Classroom work, including Pearson, that day. So that is their work for the day. Kindergarten kind of chatted, and honestly, like the reality of them having 2 hours possibly of testing and then jumping on and having to do an hour of math and writing, it's not fair for the 5-year-olds. So they're exempt for that day, and that'll be included in our Google slide for the week. So there'll be an extra slide to show you and remind you like what day you scheduled for. Does that make any sense? I know it's last minute, so I'm sorry again because it was very last minute.
It's only one day they do it, or they do it every day?
Only one day. So you'll sign up, and it should be posting at 11:20 on our Google Classroom, and I'll email it. There's times Monday through Thursday. So only 4 kids at a time. I think there's 2 days with 5. We'll be taking it at a time. So like if Aubrey's day is Monday, then she'll take the test that day and then she'll be done. And she doesn't have to do the Google Classroom work that day. She'll be exempt from that. And then that's the other thing. I'm glad you asked that. Once they're done with IReady, like if they have it Monday, that's the only day they do IReady that week. So if your test is on Wednesday, your test will actually be there on Monday. So don't log into IReady, or it's going to take them straight to the diagnostic. So like only log in for your time on your specified day. So basically IReady is not this week except for your specific time and day, if that makes sense. Does anyone have questions? I feel terrible. This was like very last minute. We knew the diagnostics were coming up, but we didn't have exact details as to like what they were going to do with them. But yeah, here we are. Does anyone have any questions? It's pretty easy. Y'all are easy. Okay. I was expecting panic mode. Y'all are the best.
Pretty easy. They just do 2 hours for next week of testing.
Yeah. And it's not bad. And it's the same setup as like their lessons. So honestly, they kind of know how to do it anyways. I would say don't panic though if you see them not struggling, but getting things that maybe they're not familiar with, because the way it works is it kind of moves them up and down to kind of gauge their level. So I know a lot of times some of the kiddos are like, we haven't learned this. It may actually be assessing on standards that are like first, possibly even second grade, depending where they're at, which is why end of the year, like don't help them because we want a true gauge of like where they're at. So if they don't know it, it's okay. IReady kind of gauges like if they miss 3, then it'll bump it back a little bit for them, and it kind of gauges them back and forth until they find their true level. So they may have some difficult questions on there, but that's actually a good thing because that means they're moving up in their levels.
Okay.
Any questions? None. So just make sure when it's your time, go ahead and sign up because I have to turn that in Friday by the end of the day. And then make sure when they log on at their time, they have their mic and their camera on. And then I'll be on too if they need help. I'll be on the other side watching them awkwardly stare into the computer and do their test.
I do have a question. This is Liam's mom.
Hey,
are they able to take breaks between, or is it like that full window straight?
They are able to take breaks. And I can email you separately about that. But they can.
Okay.
They can. Which we can also schedule, like if they don't finish. And that's the other thing is normally when we do this, it's in a computer lab, and they literally block off a schedule for the class to take it. So we kind of have the freedom to like have that scheduled time, but if we don't finish it, we finish it in class. So the chances of someone possibly not finishing during their window is high. So I'm actually going to kind of gauge our Google Meet with the kids next Friday because there's a possibility we may have to add extra spots to either finish or do a makeup day. but they can take breaks. Like by all means, that's a really long test. If they need to take a break, just get them to like unmute their mic and honestly just tell me, Miss Acevedo, I need a few minutes, and they're more than welcome to. And then they can pop back on. I know we normally give them about 5 minutes for a break when we're in school. And then they can do that like every 15, 20 minutes because it's a long test. And a lot of them, I just to warn you, they do take an hour, hour and a half. Okay. Yeah. So definite breaks.
Okay.
And then we also have, not next week, but the week after, they've kind of blocked off for like makeup days. So worst case scenario, we can always jump back on. The tests will still be there, and we can finish or make up like if someone's sick or something. So they have been flexible with like the time that they've given us. So we can work with you. Any other questions? Y'all are way easier than I thought. Thought I was gonna completely freak you out with this. All right. I'm going to send you a few things. There's the sign up. There's like a parent instruction thing that lovely Miss Lanier made for us. And I'll go ahead and send that over for you to take a peek. And if you look at it and have any questions, I'm done with meetings for today. So I'm back on and able to answer away. So just shoot me an email or write it in the classroom and I'll get right back to you. Deal. Thank you.
Sounds good.